Welcome to part 2 of this video, all about the unique selling points and how to apply them to your own business to help you stand out in a crowded marketplace. My name is Sarah, and here on my channel, we talk about growing a small handmade bath and body products business from the actual trenches themselves and building together from the ground up. So again, this is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, you definitely need to see that first. Otherwise, this isn't really going to make sense to you. Today, we're focusing on applying information that we brainstormed and came up with in part 1 of this video. So I am going to link it down below. You can also find it on my channel. It was actually last week's video, so my most recent upload. We're going straight ahead into it. We have tons of value to cover that wasn't able to be covered last week. So let's just go. Hopefully you have out your list, or what you have decided is your unique selling point. Again, from part 1, you're definitely going to need it today. So we have decided on our USP, and now it is time for component 2, which is applying and injecting that USP into our brand's voice. The most important part of this is to make sure that you are consistent throughout absolutely everything that you do and at all times. Here we need to consider things like your copy, which is kind of, just everything that you write for your small business. This includes product descriptions, social media posts, like TikToks, Instagram captions, wherever you're writing something down, or whatever you're talking about, conversations with people, email. I already said product descriptions, but that's a big one that a lot of people forget. So whatever it is that you're actually writing or talking about with your audience needs to be consistent with that USP. And that's super important, because the more consistent you are with your USP and your brand voice and your brand products, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, the more trust your buyers or your customers, potential customers, are going to have in your business. It's definitely harder for us online or e-commerce type of businesses. You go into Target, you trust that if you don't like it, you just bring it back, because Target doesn't really care. This consistency throughout everything you say and write for your brand really helps build trust. People don't buy from people they don't trust, and I know that you've heard that before. It's true. So keep in mind that it needs to be present in absolutely everything that you write. A super easy way to do this and make sure that you're maintaining consistency would be to kind of write down some ideas of things that you could say. So for example, in my brand, we're all fun, we're girly, we're pink, we're gold, we're doing all of these things, right? So I always mention the fragrance of a product, because I think that that aligns most specifically to my brand voice. My fragrances are fun, they're not your standard. Sure, I do have a standard lavender, right? But most of them are things like rainbow shaved ice, or pink champagne, sangria, like drinks, like fun, adult, girly type of things. Make that list and just have it nearby. It could be awesome. I mean, honestly, keep it in your notes app. That way it's already on your phone and you don't even have to worry about finding the piece of paper, Just make sure whatever it is that you decide, that you are consistent. What are those keywords or key phrases that people are looking for when they shop your brand? Now, if you want to talk more about like copy specifically, you have to let me know in the comments below. I know I kind of breezed through it, but after the last video being so long, I was hoping to move a little quicker for you guys in this video. But really, honestly, copy is something that takes a lot to explain, and I'm happy to do it. Just let me know, and I can put that in my content plan for you guys. And our final component, how are you going to inject these things into your products themselves? For me, it always starts at the point of like product conception. If I'm planning a collection, if I'm planning a new category, if I'm planning on introducing just, a few products that are new to my website, the most important thing that I do is find, first of all, this is my personal preference, a fragrance that aligns. And the reason I choose fragrance is because, in my opinion, it's a big deal. Obviously, you can argue that the ingredients are more important. You can argue that the packaging is the most important. That's not where we're focusing here. Whatever you decide is your main focal point, that's what you should be focused on first when planning your new products. I always focus on fragrances. I'm looking for the fun ones. Again, those adult type fragrances that are still fun. Other things you can do here, find a specific ingredient that aligns with your USP, or a color palette, or additives. You know, there are so many different options, or products themselves, you know. There are so many different options here. And I think that once you figure out which one is the most important to you to focus on, then the rest of it will come way easier. So let's take exciting ingredients, for example, because I covered fragrances probably to the point of exhaustion by now. So let's take exciting ingredients. So if I was applying this exciting ingredient concept to my brand, some things that I might be looking for would be champagne extract, or maybe like black dead sea salt or black lava salt, something more exciting. You know, if you're a more minimalist brand, you might be looking for something more in the way of like avocado oil or some sort of botanical extract. There are so many different options here. So if you have that middle-aged customer base, you might be looking for something super, super hydrating like rosehip oil, and that could be an excellent focus for your ingredients. So again, just kind of knowing what your brand's voice is can help direct you towards where you should be headed. And I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that you can only have that ingredient, right? Like, or that every single one of your ingredients has to be super exciting. What I'm saying is I have my base recipe for everything, and then I add whatever I'm adding. So let's say I'm making bath bombs, right? I have my base bath bomb recipe and I add in champagne extract to, you know, further my unique selling point. I'm not going to ignore those other ingredients. What I'm going to do is make the champagne extract the central focus of my copy. So under each of my product descriptions, what I really like to do is highlight a key ingredient for everything. And this is perfect. This is exactly where it would fit in. So I'm going to talk about how my key ingredient is champagne extract because it adds a little bit of fun, but also like the real reason for adding it in. Or I'm going to highlight that ingredient that speaks directly to my minimalist customer base. Whatever your customer base is, in your product descriptions and when you talk about this product, and when you make a TikTok about this product or an Instagram caption, you know, about that product, you want to highlight that specific ingredient because it's drawing attention to your brand from your customer, which in turn builds that trust. My final point in that long-winded part of the video is really, if you think of it as you are the hype man for whatever your unique selling point is, it comes across to people and they're more likely to buy your product. Bottom line, whatever you decide as your unique selling point, make sure that it aligns with you personally and you can handle adding it into absolutely everything that you put out there for your business. It becomes your brand's entire identity, you know? When people are like, oh, did you see that Lather Bath Co has like a new line of soaps? I want them to be like, the first thing I want them to think is, oh my God, I bet they're so much fun. Adding something exciting and fun to the shower or the bath or your body or whatever it is, you know? So always stay true to that unique selling perspective. That will definitely get you to the point where you are strong enough to stand out from others. All right, well, those are our 3 components for unique selling point and how to help your handmade business stand out in the crowd. Definitely leave any questions that you have in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. And if you need any clarification on anything or something sounded weird, like just let me know. I'm really happy to help. Again, we're all growing in the trenches together. And if you're still here after that long-winded 2-part series, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. I'll see you next week.